Hi, it's Kathy Vick, and I am really excited to talk with you today because the energy has so changed, and the response in my body and my mind is it's just very obvious and is wonderful, and I need to talk about it. I'll be putting in the comment section as well as on my website the link for Magenta Pixie's last video. I think it's very, very important for those who understand energetic management and who are like we, who understand the content and the intent of the information that is delivered through Magenta Pixie. It is really, really helpful, and it's very mathematical and coherent. There is a shift within her very own energy, and she's always been clear as a bell. But this lately is different. Now, I'm different too, so I'm reporting my own clarity. I would say since a little bit before going to Melissa's last week, and I think that was on Thursday. I don't know. It doesn't. Everything is all in a bunch. So what I'm feeling is a little bit over a week. It's just I've been in a different reality. My it's not so much that the manifestation has changed, and it used to be just blips now and then, but now it's pretty much a constant. It's like the weave that I'm with what's going on, and as I think, so it is. It's nice to see that I'm having instant manifestation, and it's beneficial, it's benevolent, everyone wins, and it's really beautiful. It feels cooperative, it feels like flow. And as that has happened, my thoughts have become, it's a different area that I'm accessing that is has a bit better view, and is not quite as troubled emotionally. Because there's a little bit of distance with some of the things that used to kill me dead, I used to say. And I can sit and weep because of another person's cruelty that they're unaware of, that I'm unwilling to explain. Why explain to someone who's hurting you? Just cry and walk on. It's not worth the pain because I've done it too many times. And the cruelty is then justified. The stance is defended. And the one asking for mercy is attacked further. It's just not worth it. And what I've realized in my walk is that I don't engage with people who require that I am responsible for their happiness, their absence of anger. That's what's been required of me. That's the lessons that I put in front of me. Oh, the beloved is angry. So angry that there is threat and there is proof of imminent harm to me. And I'm being told that the source of the anger is me. The things I like, the things I pursue, the things I believe, the things I am, how I behave, the choices I make, the interests I have. And if I could just fix that, they wouldn't be angry anymore. They'd stop hurting me then. And I've realized finally that that's not true. Yay! If anger truly is a device that a person uses to keep safe that which lies within them that is so wounded, it cannot be touched. If that is what anger is, and the person in front of me is enraged or hateful or disdainful or indeed disrespectful of me, of how I live, who I choose to love, how I choose to love, how I choose to express myself, what I choose to believe is true. This has been a central life koan, and I'm very, very pleased to present it to you and me, honoring the gifts that it gave. One, observing it, living it, feeling it, and believing it a valid expression. I realized yesterday that I love myself the most because of one thing. There's one thing that makes it impossible for me to not love myself entirely. And that is that I always will. Be true to myself. Always. It doesn't matter what the other person does. Just try. Just try to get in the way of that. If you ask me to choose between me and you, if I have to choose between my creator, my creativity, my expression, my essence, and you, by virtue of asking me to do so, you are eliminated. You don't understand. You just asked me to do the one thing I can't and never will. Do you want to know why? Do you want to know why? Even though I've presented confused, I came in with the heart of spiritual responsibility. I was responsible not only for waking up myself, but then I was responsible for coming to the keyboard in 2012 and sharing this with humanity. It's not just me I was responsible for. It was you. It was all of us. Each of us have that level of spiritual responsibility. Each of us here has a gift to give that is integral and necessary for this awakening. Each of us carry this power and responsibility. That I was aware of it and let it be my true north. I honor myself for that. I love myself for that. And no amount of criticism can remove that honor and love, even though it might have to be celebrated alone at night in the dark by myself. It's celebrated, and it is known in my cells and in the cosmos. I didn't come here just for me. Neither did you. But to be criticized by small people who refuse to look, and when they peek in, all they do is act enraged and try to pound me down. It just doesn't work anymore, guys. This has to do with integrity. It has to do with purity of expression. It has to do with self-empowerment. It has to do with self-acceptance and self-realization. I'm not Magenta Pixie, so I don't talk to you in terms of geometrics and patterning. That is her specialty. And I sit and listen to her, and I receive 20 years worth of information in a moment. I am healed of a confusion. I'm healed of misunderstandings. I have understandings confirmed, and I'm able to go farther because she is up ahead of me with her machete going whack, whack, whack. Okay, here you go, kid. And I do that with you, I'll bet. Or you wouldn't be looking at 1207. So I'm in that place right now. Still very aware of the mundane, meaning that, daily life stuff and all that. The schedules I've got to keep. But I don't really care about ever pleasing anyone else again, okay? Because when I hear, my hair's on fire because of what you're doing. Oh, okay. All right. Here. You want some water? Anytime. I understand you feel that way, but can I help? Let me help you. But it's a voluntary act. And so I understand part of this metaphor is just walking around like the sun. Yesterday, I had a very unusual experience. Yesterday was a massive, they have all been energetically massive. Oh, but yesterday, I couldn't get away from it. I was driving especially, but all day it was like this just really intense feeling of being okay would come over me. My hair's so cute. I love it. Thank you, Melissa. And as I was driving, it was here. Funnily, it wasn't up here. It was here. I really liked that. It felt really solid. But it was this big globe that was solid. And it was orange, red, liquid magma, lava. But I thought it was the sun. And then I would hear, and it wasn't their voice. It was this big voice that said, Mercury. Oh, okay. I like it. So, and last night even, during a very big emotional storm, it's just weird because there's all these storms going on. Yeah, there are. Are you having storms in your living rooms, in your bedrooms, in your cars? I wonder. I'll bet you are. As within, so without. As above, so below. Macro, micro, la la la. But last night, too, it came over me. And it really shouldn't have. I should have totally believed that the end was nigh. I should have believed that there was no hope. I should have believed that there was nothing but devastation futility, death, no hope. Yeah, I should have believed all that shit. I really should have. And I was laying there in my bed going, wow, this Mercury thing feels really good. Huh. I wonder, what sounds good to eat? Honest to God. So it's like I'm this observer, and I'm really cool with that. I'm down with the observer kind of riding point, going, oh, okay, I'm still feeling it. And here's the other thing that's going on energetically. When there's I've always known that when there's an energetic charge to a thought, then you've got a thing, okay? It's like 1 + 1 = 2. But now, the marriage of the thought and the feeling, that's just so much of a flow now. And then I'm noticing that there's automatically just dropping in of these realities, these thoughts. And it's like in the Richard Bach book, when in Illusions, when he tries his first manifestation is a blue feather. Yeah, my life is littered with blue feathers. It's crazy. It's just crazy. It's just like part of it. And it's not crazy at all. It just feels normal. I've just been, where have you been all my life kind of thing. But it makes me realize that my thoughts, my mindset, where my reality is it up here? Or is it here? Or is it here? That is what I'm responsible for. And that is a spiritual responsibility in the moment that I really didn't want to take up. It used to really peeve me. And I was a complete and utter rebel. I don't care how this feels. I don't give a shit. If you're that fragile, then I guess you've got a problem. Here's what I think. Bull in a china shop much? Well, the thing is, I didn't express it very much. It just thundered through me. That's tricky. That's tricky. Oh, really? You want to keep on doing this to me? Yeah. You think this is the agreement? Well, I can see that, and then there's usually there's really good reason for how it continues. It's really good reason for how it ends. It's a perfect end, and it goes on. I mean, I've always lived as the observer, but my focus and my reality was in the physical, and my consciousness was trapped within the bounds of good and bad, right and wrong, black and white, even though I knew that was just a playground. It's just shocking to me. Because as a result, I'm not taking very much personally. I'm not taking it personally. And I'm taking it less seriously. And I'm able to be nicer. I have a friend who teaches me how to be human. A good human. An angel human. Because she's an angel. I've seen her wings. I've seen her kids' wings. I know what she is. So she teaches me. And around her, I know that my feeling state is not, she's not going to take responsibility for my reality. So if I'm upset or if I'm having a hard day, she never feels like it's her fault. Ever. Ever. Why would she? She loves me. So there's no fault there at all. And there's no harm, ever. And she's truly someone who is so generous to my heart that I like to be around her because I learn from her and I'm soothed by her just because she has a pulse and she's kind to me. And it doesn't matter if she's just looking at the clouds or she's driving us around or if she's quiet. I'm at peace. And I understand how to do this. not as a warrior anymore. I don't have to. I had to carry that because I had to make this thing survive. I had to. It just was the gift. And I know that my dad doesn't understand it. But I know he's going to. And I know when he does, things will change for him. Because he'll understand his power and his worth and his light. And he'll drop the beliefs he still has that hurt him. I feel that way about everyone I know. If you could only see who you've been arguing with and being mad at, if you only knew. One day you will. And until then, I'm the enemy. I'm the bad guy. I'm the stupid one. Okay. Okay. That's what it was like for me. Partly because I didn't know how to defend myself, and had I wouldn't have. It's just not my nature. Really, you're gonna do that to me? You're gonna talk to me that way? I can't fix that. That's something I don't understand. I don't know why you're doing that. I don't understand. That's how I've been. Being a bigger observer, it's easier for me to understand the bigger picture. And these heart-clenching moments of what is perceived cruelty or perceived isolation or perceived miscommunication and misunderstanding. I'm really sorry about my nose, guys, but such is life, right? They begin to be seen as the tangle they are. And I equate this video I saw this morning with that tangle. It's called Wish by 9 Inch Nails. And when you travel within is complete and utter madness, right? But when you can observe from a distance, a little distance, so that the heat's still coming off of it and you're still getting a zing, but it's not yours. You're not the one wailing. You're the one observing the wailing and understanding why the wailing is being done. Then it's a lush experience in expressing taboo, depth, and charge. I think that some of these really charged experiences that some of us have are there simply to experience the charge, realize that it was charged, feel it, and release it. So I want to end. I know this is really intense. I'm still going to release it because what's happening is that there is not only a clarity in my mind, but then what happens, guys? When the heart, when the mind and the heart begin to work together, and there's a nice spin, and this larger observer is the one who's riding point and interacting, when there is more ease with acting in alignment in the moment, in thought, in word, in deed, in integrity, to that massive part of yourself that came here with a spiritual responsibility that you hold to no one but yourself. Once that is expressed and realized and understood and it runs, then dipping into some of the other realities, well, hey, I'm never going to stop being comfortable with where I'm comfortable. And partly that's to just piss off the New Age people. To be quite honest, there's some places they dare not tread because they're just too dark. And anybody who wants to go there is depraved. No, no, you're simple. Sorry, but you're just not very deep. You're shallow, and you're needing to defend and be within the light, and haven't done your shadow work, or you're so far away from the shadow work that really you've come to the place where I choose not to come from this lifetime. I prefer to be in full technicolor and able to travel everywhere. I'm a writer first. I am comfortable with all human expression. And I see it all as manifestations of us, as our consciousness. It's all valid. And so I'm just not one of those who's going to stay, only where the angels go. There are angels everywhere. There are angels in seedy bars, and brothels, and jail cells. And if that's not a comfort zone for folks, then they're not going to tune in. Okay, bye. There's plenty of people who only want to talk about light. And I'll tell you what, after the baths in depravity that I've taken, I needed to have long, long, long pool dips in purity. So please keep being pure. Keep pumping out that purity because I need it. Keep living pure lives. I need that. But please, I would prefer to be seen as a master. Of contrast, of creative expression. I'm a whale after all. Whales contain much, and much that is unlanguaged, much that is surprising. I'm very, very happy to put this in the ethers today, even though I have a runny nose, and even though I cried, and even though I shook. It's precisely because of that I'm releasing it. These are very powerful times. And I wanted you to see how I'm using it, and it's just really, it's fun. It's super duper fun. And now that I'm beginning to realize it, okay, well, if I'm having thoughts and feelings and then I have physical objects or experiences or people or situations happen just really smoothly and in the moment, okay, alrighty then. This is what they were talking about when I saw this white wall. Chaos is what I forget exactly what they called it, or I called it, but it was white and it was all. And then I saw dots. And then I saw the dots connect. And then I saw a hand holding a pen. And they said, won't it be nice when you have removed finally all of this doubt and you come to the understanding that synchronicity is your friend once you realize that you are writing it? You are the author of your synchronicity. How would you like it today? Well, I think the first thing that one must be aware of is where one's consciousness is. It's all quantum, so if I'm focusing on the energy that is contained within that video that I mentioned, then contrast city, baby. But I'm not the only one experiencing deep, deep contrast, and I think it's really neat that I can experience it and not be as troubled by it anymore. I can see very clearly what's going on with geoengineering and with what's going, and I'm wondering when people will wake up. And I know I'm ahead of the game, so people may not. But if they get a little bit of it, then good. We're getting there. There's a big, huge problem going on. And it's not in the details, dears. Look bigger. I've always been able to look bigger. And I have placed myself within to close this prison of disbelief, of not thinking myself worthy, of not liking myself, of believing the criticisms, and living within the agreement that another person's discomfort with me is my responsibility. not understanding that the reason they would come to me complaining about their discomfort with me is because they see something within me that triggers something in them that they're not comfortable with. It took a lifetime to understand that. Now that I do, I don't really care. I just want to be like my angel friend with those I love. And I love so many. I want to be inviting and soft. I want to be that strong in my presentation while being so soft and gentle and approachable. I want the people around me to be like I feel around my angel friend. Tended to, cherished, valued. A source of delight and a reason for being here. So I have my teachers. That tells me that this manifestation that I'm talking about is real. I needed those people, just as I need everyone who is with me, even the ones who stand in front of me, angry at me for not being what they need me to be. No longer are the words "I'm sorry" what I lead with. I'm not sorry. I am that I am that I am, and I love you. I see you. I know you. I love you. Thank you. I want that to be in every breath I have around the people who people me. That means that I can handle people's storms. I can. And they're so intense sometimes that I find myself going from this observer thing right into the depths. And sometimes that's the only place you can help somebody. You gotta get in the shit with them. You gotta be able to feel it and believe that it's real. And then break it apart, maybe on your bed, afterwards, as you realize you are indeed a physical manifestation of divine light and love and sound. And then it's funny how one can stand from the bed and walk to the person who's suffering and say, I've come to understand a couple of things. Have you? Can we talk? Are you ready? It's that level of work that's being done. Moment to moment to moment now. And I cannot criticize my consciousness anymore. I cannot question my guidance. I can't. And when I try, it brings me pain. It is the mandate here to not trust yourself, to not trust your inner voices, to look without for confirmation, information, and salvation. It is a DNA code. It is an agreement field. And then there's a different field and through these processes, there are those who are this devoted to their souls and their path, and in this much awareness innately, and they proceed to places that other folks are not willing to do because it's not what they're supposed to do. This is what I do. I don't give a crap what anybody else does. I know I'm supposed to do this. La la! Not forever. I'm looking for it. My dad keeps saying, oh, do that book, do that book, do that book. Yesterday I had to tell him on the phone, yeah, that's the idea. Let me just get a couple more things figured out here. Let's just stabilize a little bit more. But what you're describing is the book that I've been working on for about 25 years. And it is, he said, and I said, it's a gold mine. And he said, here's the thing, Kathy. Here's the thing. You keep complaining about your feet hurting. You keep talking about these rocks that you have to stand on. And they're all really uncomfortable. And they're really, 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 it's hard to do it. And your feet hurt. Look down. They're gold nuggets. Do you understand what you're standing on? Stop complaining. Start doing it. It's like, yeah, Dad, I'm sort of limping I'm limping across the finish line, okay? Let me take a deep breath. And you got it. If you want, you can be the person who reads it. If you do this with criticisms, if you just read it, and then just do this or this, I'll take a little. I can take, actually, when it comes to my work, you can tell me anything you want. And I'll just go, la la la. Oh, it's the worst thing in the world. It's horrible. I think it's awful. I think it's junk. La 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 la. Yeah, I know. Okay. Thank you for telling me. La la la. It doesn't matter. It matters more when it comes from someone I love, if it's displeasing, but less and less so all the time. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I know, yeah, I'll get to it. For some reason, I'm still in this kind of a holding pattern, but things are breaking apart, but it feels like they have to be broken apart in a way that is on someone else's timetable, someone bigger, who knows more than I do. So really, I'm just told to stand down, just keep feeling like Mercury. Doesn't this feel good, girlie? Why do you want to keep pushing? Just enjoy yourself. Kind of like that. It's like, okay, well, if you insist. So that's where I'm at. And I have I'm in complete and utter love with every single person in my reality, even those who hate my guts or who I feel the need to be forceful with about what's going on with me, because sometimes being forceful is the only way you get heard, and that's got nothing to do with me. If I'm left to my own devices and I don't have to socialize, oh my God, I'm such a happy person. I'm such a contented soul. I'm so happy. I always have been. It's just this other shit that's always been a little hard for me. Well, alright. It was hard so that I could do this doodad thing, and I did it. It's called Deeply Awake. And now other things are happening today. Oh my God. If my dreams come true, you're going to get to see the next Masters among us. And it's with someone I consider a daughter. A very beloved and cherished individual who I'm just ever grateful came home again. It's a very mystical experience for me, and to know her. And so I'm very much hoping that she'll be here today. Oh, I hope so. I'm talking about my Sonny. I love Sonny. I love Sonny like I love Sam. They're can't explain it. So that might happen. But I'm sharing this because I know that there's been an amplification and there has been an increase in the amperage, and because my reality is highly altered, and it's not hallucinatory, but it's really otherworldly and magical. And I'm being told, I mean, all the time, that this is like a little gateway thing. Get me used to it, and to remind me about spiritual responsibility and energetics and how all this works, and to get ready. It's just to get ready. This is not the final product. The final product isn't for a little bit, but this needs to be really like hard and fast and big, because there's a lot of stuff coming that I'll just have to contain, and there's a lot that I'll dismiss, and so I wanted to check in during this time of transition, not only just to document it, but then to give it away, because if you're also experiencing this, it's often, isn't it nice to have a friend? Whee! I'm sure that people will have this kind of experience with their awakening that I'm having now, but it's really cool because I get to experience it with the celestial triggers. And that helps a lot. It adds power to everything, and it makes me happy. And I know that as I'm doing it, others will come behind, and they can look at the astrology as we go, and they can understand what's going on, of course, and they can use those triggers. I mean, it's all just like markers anyway. It's not like, oh, if you don't do it right on the dot, you're just, you don't get the prize. It's bullshit. If I'm here doing it, then you automatically get it. That's the idea. That's why I'm here. All right. Well, I'm going to go now because I feel like it. I want to drink more coffee and maybe eat something. I'm not really sure. But get ready, because I don't know. Maybe Sunny will come over, maybe not. But I need to vacuum and stuff. And celebrate. I just feel like celebrating. To close up, my hip is, I'm noticing that I'm holding my body different. And I'm very, very aware that I have this right hip of mine up like that inside of my body. It not only opens my nether regions in a way that I don't like, but it also it's a natural thing that is really causing a lot of problems, and it has to do with some of the deep like cellular ancestral yuga kind of healing, and it's intense. But I'm finding myself dropping down to a more stable thing where my hips are level. And then I feel it drift up, and I feel exposed, and I feel violated, and I feel a lot of pain. But my joint is also, with just sitting, it cracks. So I think that I can use this experience, and I still need to do some work before I see the doctor. I'm still afraid. I still have fear. So I need to work on that before I present myself for diagnostics, because I'm not going to let them say certain words to me. They don't understand things, and I don't want my innate to be exposed to certain things, so I need to still work with my body. I am being very obtuse, but I need you to understand that I am healing something at a very fundamental and core level with light that and now I know I've been told I need to go to that garden there across the street for some reason, so I gotta go do that this afternoon. That'll help. I don't know why, but I'll do that. So this is all part of it, and I think it's just more beautiful every single day. And I hope that you're having similar experiences with regarding your own beauty and power and worth and validity. Sayla.